Myself, I've been playing a game I reviewed, and you can go over to N-Europe, the website, and see that I've reviewed Cybercharge. Sorry, not Cybercharge.
That's all right.
I'm reading by Cybercharge. I wrote that down. It's not Cybercharge. It is Hypercharge Unboxed. That's the game I reviewed. Hey, I reviewed the wrong game. And as I mentioned earlier, you can win a copy of this by guessing our transition tunes. And what I didn't mention earlier is if we don't have a winner this week, we'll roll it over to next week, and we'll keep on rolling it over until we do get a winner. So that game won't be sitting there for 5 or 6 weeks. We'll get a winner 1 week. We'll make it nice and easy 1 week, Nick.
Will we?
So what is Cybercharge? I've done it again. I keep on reading that thing. I should change it. So I put it up on here. So what is Hypercharged Unboxed? It's this game made by 5 people from a UK-based developer called Digital Cyber Cherries. And from what you can see, it's a first-person shooter, first of all, where the main character is this action man. And the worlds that they build around it, so you feel like you're in a Toy Story movie. And they look that good. The worlds are fantastic looking. And each level, even though it's small, there are some larger ones, but each level is based around a certain location of a house. So you get the garage of the house, a bathroom, an attic, a bedroom, a storeroom, an air hockey table, which is not in a house, that's in like an arcade store, and a back garden. But there's also a toy store called We Are Toys, and that kind of gives you the implication that obviously they can't afford the real named merchandise and all that, so all the stuff in there looks exactly as you remember it as a kid. You know, those green little action men and green soldiers with the plastic bar across both their feet, and then you got the parachuting versions of them. They look exactly like you remember, but they're not called the real things. I even spotted a Castle Grayskull in there. It's like, hey, it's Castle Grayskull. My brother used to have that. And I can't stress how lovely the levels look, how well designed they are. And the thing that kind of makes Hypercharge different and why the levels are so well designed is that it's also a tower defense game. So in the middle of each level, you'll either have 3 hypercores, which are the bases, and each one is a different color. So you got a red hypercore, yellow hypercore, green hypercore, and sometimes there's 4th one, a blue hypercore. And you have to defend these against these waves of enemies coming in. And the enemies are, like I said, those little green soldiers, some like, Stretch Armstrong, that kind of thing, but like zombie versions of Stretch Armstrong. Some action men come in. The green plastic tanks, there's a huge plastic Tyrannosaurus Rex romping along as a kind of final boss for the garden area. And as these are coming, they are attacking your hypercores. You have to protect them. And in true kind of tower defense mechanics, you can place down turrets to shoot them from machine guns and flame turrets, or you can put down some traps with spikes pop out to give the enemies damage, or you can put defensive walls, which just slow them down. So you've got all these things that you do in a kind of preparation time. So you got, depending on the level, there are 4 difficulty settings. Like if you start on the easiest level, you'll have about 5 minutes to prepare your defenses. But then you go up to the next level, which is normal, and you'll maybe have 2 minutes, and then you get less and less time to prepare. But as you get better at the game, you need less and less time to prepare. So you prepare your defenses, and then the action phase starts. The wave starts coming in and starts attacking your bases. And then it's down to the kind of first-person shooter mechanics, which feel fantastic. If you've played Splatoon, it feels just as good with, your zoom is on ZL, your shooting is on ZR, and your gyro as well to move around the screen. It works flawlessly. In single player, it runs flawlessly as well. in split screen mode, which I've played it mostly with because my son is absolutely loving it as well. So there's two of us playing in the same level. It runs flawlessly. It's when you kind of split it into four screens, then you render in the game 4 times, that it takes a graphical hit, maybe a slight frame rate down, but there's no juddery frames or anything in it. And it's for 4 screens on one screen at one time. It really holds up fantastic. And it's you can play online as well, so it's a bit finicky. The menu, the main menu, is a bit awkward how to set up games. You kind of have to learn it. You have to basically click in, right? Me and my son want to play together, so I have to click in and load in the split screen part, and then I have to choose my options for split screen. Then I need to go down to the next, I want to stick it online, and then it goes online. And I couldn't use the online until after the game came live. And once the game came live, I played online, so nothing in the review about online. But online works flawlessly as well. I mean, they've done a fantastic job with whatever they need to do to get this online. So you'll be playing, me and my son will be playing. I click the online button and it takes you to a lobby. Then you can choose your level and choose your difficulty, and you can customize your player to the nth degree. Everything about your player is customizable, even the weapons. And you're taken into the game, then you start the game, and then it's drop in, drop out. So anybody who wants to drop into a game can just click on the matchmaking mode when you start up your own game, and it takes you to another game. And there's all options like friends options and all that. So you can shut out the people you don't want in, I don't want randoms. I just want to play with friends. And that's basically the kind of main mode of the game, is that tower defense mechanic. But there's also multiplayer modes. They have 2 at present. There's which we didn't play too much of when I was reviewing the game, but we've played a hell of a lot of after, because it's good as well. There's a PvP, which they call plastic versus plastic, which is free for all, either kill everybody or in teams. And there's a plague mode, which is one person randomly gets infected with a plague. They don't have a weapon, and then you have to touch everybody and they have to kill you before you kill them. Both, once again, run flawlessly. I've had up to 6 players in the PvP mode, and it's been a hell of a lot of fun as well. It just goes to show that the mechanics work in both a kind of slower tower defense mechanic and in action-based multiplayer. I've enjoyed myself a hell of a lot. What else can I say about the game? Tower defense mechanics. You need money. So how do you get money? Kill enemies, they drop money. Then that money allows you to build your kind of tower defense mechanics. Weapons, you got things like rifles, sniper rifles, machine guns, shotguns, miniguns, flamethrowers, grenade launchers, lasers. I think that's about it. But they all feel really good. And you think, they should feel cheap and plastic because you are this kind of action man. But no, they feel like they pack a punch. As you shoot a grenade launcher and hit a group of, say, army men, these green soldiers, they explode in the correct way. They go flying across the screen. I've just had a hell of a lot of fun. I've put about 25 hours into it in the last week and a half, and I give it 8 out of 10 on the website. I could have easily given it 9 out of 10, but there were some small issues of some things are not clear, like setting up games and all that, and there's stuff that do annoy, but not while you're playing it itself. And Digital Cybercherries, they said they're going to improve it via customer feedback, and they've promised extra content. Like in February, they've already put a chart out showing there's going to be 2 new multiplayer modes, like a tank versus tank and a Beyblade, those spinning tops. They've got an air hockey table on one of the levels, and you'll be able to knock each other off in a Beyblade kind of fight off. So I'm looking forward to playing those extra modes and all that as well. So good.
Yeah, you've certainly sold it pretty well. Like it sounds fun. Like I find myself being rather dismissive of games, like sort of pretty much sticking to what I'm used to and all. Like like when you're younger, you'll play anything really.
Yeah.
And it's like sort of as I've got older, sort of like experience sort of tells you what you like and what you don't like. But sometimes like that's the sort of game that's just like just take a chance on it. You might absolutely love it.
I think it is one of those games. It's one of those games. It looks nice as well, so it will draw a lot of people in just for the way it looks and that kind of Toy Story thing. And it is definitely one of those games that I've looked at and gone, I'm interested in that, but I don't think I'd pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I've had the review and played it, and they've done a fantastic job. Unreal Engine 4.
I was offered this game. Well, we all were on the forums.
Yes.
And I, without even knowing what it was, Hypercharge Unboxed now.
Yeah,
turned it down.
I know.
And then I went and watched the trailer and was like, oh, this actually looks pretty decent. And you'd already taken it by then, so but never mind. It does look good, and I have actually put it on my wish list, but we'll see. I don't know how long the online stuff will last in it.
That's the concern, yes. It's whether or not the online stuff. As of now, I've had no problem filling a game. And it's only for, because we normally play the wave kind of tower defense. I've had no problem. So the two of us will start a game, like I say, and then put it online. And within the first game we're playing, two other people have joined us. And then we've got 4 people for the next couple of games we play. So we've had no problems as yet, but it is only, it's not even a week old yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So only time will tell. And I'll keep you apprised of that as well, whether or not it's the user base has dropped off or not. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.